Hey guys, it's Kimberly. Please excuse how I look. I know my last video that I made was just a normal video. I haven't made one in a few days because there has been a lot going on, and I'll just kind of walk through the story with you. I haven't made it in a few days because I was just extremely emotional and had a lot of stuff going on. I made that video on the 28th of September, and I had uploaded that video and I left my house to just go out for a little while. I didn't make it very far. I left and went through a drive-through and got me a biscuit and a drink, and I had drove, I don't know, maybe another 5 or 10 minutes down the road, and I saw a yard sale sign, and I thought, I'll just go to it, no big deal. Well, I felt like I needed to go to the bathroom. I felt like I needed to pee. So I thought, it's probably best if I go to the bathroom before I go to the yard sale. I still felt fine. So I pulled into the Chick-fil-A and I went into the bathroom, and when I pulled my pants down to go, they were full of blood. It was a bright red blood, and it really scared me, and I just didn't really in that second know what to do. I just grabbed a bunch of toilet paper, pulled up my underwear, and stuffed it in my pants and just immediately walked out of the door, and I was calling my husband, walking through the restaurant to get to my car. I was already shaking, and sorry, it's emotional. I was already shaking and crying, and I called him and I said, I'm bleeding and I don't know what to do. And he was at work. He said, I'm walking out the door right now. And I said, well, let me hang up so I can call 911. I have panic attacks. I haven't had one in a really long time. I only have them if I'm under a tremendous amount of stress. It's very rare, but I know that I have them. So in my mind I kept thinking, it's okay, just stay calm. So I immediately hung up the phone and I called my mom, because my mom basically lives in a neighborhood that's literally like 5 minutes from that Chick-fil-A. I called my mom and she answered, and I told her the same thing, and she said, where are you at? And I told her, and she said, I'm on my way. I hung up the phone and I was about to dial 911, and then I said, well, I should call my OB real quick. So my first initial thought, which is a weird thought, but it did pop into my head, is I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm in this parking lot, and this parking lot is very busy and it's very small, and there was a Kroger shopping center right across the street. So my initial reaction was I just got in my car, pulled out of that parking lot, went straight through the red light into the Kroger's, and pulled onto the very first parking space that I could see. And by that time my OB was on the phone, and she asked me a few questions. She asked me if I thought I could drive, and I told her no, because I could just feel the blood coming out. In that moment I just wanted to be as still as I possibly could and control my breathing. So she had me hang up the phone. She told me to dial 911. So I hung up the phone and I called them, And the lady on the phone was really wonderful. She asked me where I was at and just the normal questions. And she told me to turn my flashers on. She told me not to move, just stay still. And the ambulance and the fire truck and everything, they got there pretty quick. They were there in like 5 minutes. And my mom got there about the exact same time that they were pulling in. I guess she happened to see them pulling in there, so she figured I was there. So she pulled in there too, and I remember seeing my mom walk up to the car door. And sorry, it's really emotional. It's been a week and it's still emotional. But I'm not supposed to be stressed, so I thought a week later I wouldn't be this emotional still. So anyways, the paramedics got there. They opened up the door. They just asked me a couple questions. I told them I was pregnant with twins and my age. Told them I was bleeding. They asked me a few more questions. I didn't have any cramping. And they helped get me out of the car. They put me on a stretcher. And they put me in an ambulance. And I have to say, an ambulance ride is not the greatest in the world. It's almost like those trucks are riding on bicycle tires. You feel every bump. You feel everything, and with them driving really fast, it's not really a smooth ride. So that in itself scares you because you think you're trying to be as calm as you possibly can. You don't want to be knocked around or bumped around, but there was nothing I could do about that. The guy in the ambulance, his name was Shannon. He was very nice. He asked me a bunch of important questions. He kept trying to talk to me, and I know it was just to keep me calm as much as possible. He himself said his wife was 27 weeks pregnant and that she was at the same hospital that I was going to. She was there, and they were trying to keep her from having her babies. I thought that was very nice for him to tell me something so personal. He was very nice all the way there. So we get there, and when you are 11 weeks pregnant, they don't take you, I mean, I'm sure every hospital is different in every state, but here in Georgia, they don't take you to the women's center, the maternity ward, when you are 11 weeks pregnant, because as I learned a little bit after that, unless you're at least 26 weeks pregnant, there is nothing that can be done for you if you are miscarrying. So anyways, so they took me to the emergency. By the time I got to the emergency, I was still trying to be as calm as possible. My husband was there, my mom was there. There was a lot going on. People coming in and out, and she was trying to find a vein in my arm to take blood and just to get an IV started. They were asking me all kinds of questions, and I was trying to answer them, and it's amazing how many times they will ask you your name and your birth date and all of that in that type of situation. It's kind of aggravating when in your mind you're just thinking, just help me. You know, I don't want to lose my babies. But anyway, I guess my adrenaline had slowed down, and I realized I never went to the bathroom. And that morning after I took my daughter to school, I had drank a large sweet tea, so that was in my bladder. My mom grabbed one of the nurses and said she's really got to go to the bathroom. She's in pain, and all of you, I don't know how far along you are, but when you really got to go to the bathroom and you can't, it actually does become a physical pain. I also had a leap done after my daughter was born, which is where they put like the mesh in there that holds the bladder up because she had damaged my bladder. So I don't know if that makes it even worse when I have to go to the bathroom as far as the pressure goes. So anyway, I was laying there and I was in pain because of everything that was happening. I didn't have any cramping, but I was in pain because it hit me all at once. I just needed to go to the bathroom really bad. And the nurse came in there and she said, "You can't go to the bathroom. We need you to be full for the ultrasound." And so of course that was making me cry because I was in pain, but I was still trying to stay calm as I could. So anyways, I'll try to talk a little faster. So anyways, I sat there for about another 10 minutes and I could not hold it anymore. I looked at my husband and I looked at my mom and I said, "I'm getting up and I'm going to the bathroom and I don't care what they say. I'm in pain. I'm going to go all over this bed." And at this time, you have to understand, I can still feel the blood coming out of my body, and you don't really know what it is or what it looks like or anything. I just know it was bright red blood. So my mom left again, went in the hallway and said, "She's going to get up and go right now. She can't hold it anymore." So the nurses come running back in there and they said, "We're taking you right now to the ultrasound." So they came in and pushed my bed out to the hallway. It took me through the hallways to the ultrasound room, and it was taking everything in me just to keep it together. We get in the ultrasound room. They normally only allowed one person, but my mom was kind of persistent in that kind of state. She's like, "That's my baby, I want to be in there." So anyways, we get in there. The lady was pretty quick. She said, "We're going to do an outer ultrasound and then an internal ultrasound." So she squirted the stuff on my stomach, started rolling around. Now they don't place the screen where you can see it, but my husband and my mom could see it. And so the lady's rolling all around, and I'm looking at my husband's face and I'm looking at my mom's face, and I'm trying to read their face expressions of what they're looking at. My husband's face was just blank, had no expression whatsoever. I think he was just scared to death. My mom, eventually, she started crying, which was really, I didn't know how to read that. So I just kept looking up at my husband saying, "There's two of them, right? You see them both? You see two babies? You see them? You see heartbeats? Do you see them?" I just kept asking him over and over and over, and then eventually he said yes. He said, "I see them both. They're there. Their hearts are beating," and it was just like a big sign of relief. And still, I couldn't see the screen, which is horrible because you just want to see for yourself. So anyways, she stopped what she was doing and she said, "You can get up and go to the bathroom," which was a really awesome thing to hear. So I got up, my husband helped me get up. And anyways, went to the bathroom. He went in there with me. He was awesome. He stayed with me the whole time. And my mom stayed with me the whole time. So I went in there and went to the bathroom, and it was really scary because you could see the blood. But my husband kept saying, it's okay, the babies are there. Their heartbeats are strong, it's okay. But it was still really scary. So I gave him a urine sample, and she gave me some wipes, so I cleaned myself up as much as I could. Went back out, laid on the bed again, and she did an internal ultrasound. And I still couldn't see the screen. And my husband was watching it, my mom was watching it. My mom was crying, and then they started saying, you know, they could see little fingers and toes and little things like their eyes and their ears. And that was such a great thing to hear. And I looked up at the ultrasound nurse and I said, I know you're probably not supposed to show me that screen, but before you stop, I just need to see them. If it's only for 1 second, I just need to see them myself. I just need to know that they're there.
This one's for you and me.
With my own 2 eyes, I just need to see them. So she finished everything that she was doing, taking measurements and everything. She flipped the screen around and she showed them to me real quick. It was very, very short. She just said, here's their head, the torso, there's the heartbeat, and it was literally like 5 or 6 seconds I got to see them. So they wheeled me back out of there, back into the room that I was in. In a short version, I got back in there. I was in there for a little bit longer. They hooked me up to the heart monitor thing or whatever, and the blood pressure. My blood pressure was up, so they were watching that. And I was in there for a little bit longer, and then I felt I had to go to the bathroom again. So my husband unhooked me from everything, and he helped me get up. By this time, I was had nothing on underneath. I was just in a gown, and I slid up off the bed because the bathroom was like right outside the emergency door that I was at. It was just a short, I don't know, 8 feet. I got up, and as soon as my husband pulled the curtain back, there was someone going in the room. So it happened so quick, and all of that second it scared me. There was blood running down my legs. It was going all over the floor. I freaked out. I started crying. My husband sat me back down on the bed. He was going to clean it up, and a nurse came in and she put towels on the floor, and she was like, it's okay, it's okay. I laid back down, or I sat back down, I think. Waited a few minutes, and then that person came out of the bathroom, so then I just grabbed this thing that they had underneath my bottom, and I just held it between my legs and went to the bathroom. My mom ran in there real quick and just made sure it was clean, put the toilet cover on there and all that good stuff. And anyways, I went in there, went to the bathroom, came back out, laid back down, was in there a little bit longer, and then they were going to discharge me. So a doctor came in, and she checked my cervix. She said that my cervix was still closed, which was good. Then she gave me a really long talk that was very hard to hear. She told me that when you are 11 weeks, if you start to miscarriage, there is basically nothing that can be done for you, which was very hard to hear. She said that the babies, unless they are 26 weeks at least, do not even have a chance outside the womb. So basically she gave me this big long talk, told me to, when I leave there today, to be on strict bed rest. I could only get up to go pee and minimize my showers, which means I could only take a shower maybe every second or third day, and even when I did that, it needed to be very simple, very quick, get out, go back to bed. So anyway, that was that. So that happened on the 29th, which was Friday. I spent, let me look at my calendar. I spent that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday on strict bed rest. I didn't get up for anything except to go to the bathroom. Monday and Tuesday was really hard because I didn't have anybody here with me. So my husband just brought as much food and everything he could, sat it beside the bed on the tables. It was very difficult. Tuesday night when he came home, I took a very quick shower because I had said to you guys in the last video that Wednesday on the 3rd I had an ultrasound. So I just kept my regular visit. Went to my doctor's, did the ultrasound, and I got to see the babies. I don't know if you can see. Baby A's picture is not as good. This is baby A. Here's the little head, the torso. This baby B. You can see a little head and the body. They said that I had gained 1 pound since I was there last on my, I think I was about 7 weeks pregnant. So I gained 1 pound, which was shocking because I thought that maybe I would gain a lot more being on complete bed rest. But anyway, she looked at the babies. She said that they looked great. They were moving all around. One of them even actually did a flip. We all got a good laugh out of that. Babies are measuring good. Their heartbeats were still really good. So after that ultrasound, they said that the doctor wanted to talk to me because of everything that happened. So I talked to the doctor, and by the time my ultrasound got there, the bleeding had stopped. It went from like red blood to a couple days to brown blood to spotting, and then stopped. So I was very thankful. I talked to that doctor. She said I could come off of strict bed rest. We asked her a bunch of questions. We have 2-story house. We have stairs that go straight up from the living room area to the bedroom areas. It's probably about, I don't know, 20 steps, something like that. After that morning when we came home, I went straight to the sofa because she said for the next week she wanted me to take it very easy, and then if everything was fine, then I could slowly go back to just my normal routine. So my husband brought me home, and I stayed on the sofa, and the only time I got up was to go to the bathroom or to make me something to eat. That night came. My husband helped me up the stairs. I went up the stairs very slowly because I'm still very panicky. I'm scared to move too fast or really do anything, because when that happened I wasn't really doing anything but driving my car. I haven't moved any furniture. I haven't exercised. I was really being careful my first trimester. I know this video is long, but there's just so much to tell you. So anyways, my husband helped me up the stairs. Went to bed that night. I felt fine other than just being nauseous, which was normal for me. I wasn't bleeding at the time, so I just put a panty liner back on, went to bed, hadn't really done anything that day, and that night at 2 o'clock in the morning I woke up, had to pee, went to the bathroom, bright red blood again. Yeah, it wasn't like before, it wasn't as much, but it's still scary. So I woke my husband up, put a pad back on. I asked him just to help me get to the bed. I wanted to lay down and elevate my feet, my legs. I called my OBGYN. I got the answering service. A midwife ended up calling me back. She asked me a few questions, and she said for me basically just to stay in bed that day. So once again, all day yesterday I stayed in bed. I was really nauseous yesterday. Last night I had a really bad stomach ache when I went to bed. Not cramping, just a stomach ache. I think dinner did not agree with me. Last night I was still bleeding, but by that time it was brown blood again. I got up this morning. As soon as I got up, I took a really quick shower, and I've come downstairs because most of everything is down here. I am still getting the brown blood, so I'm trying to still take it very easy. I'm going to try to keep these babies in here as long as I possibly can. I'm hoping I can. Sorry, I forgot to tell you. They said that the blood was coming from, on the ultrasound that they did at the hospital, there was like this little bitty tear between the wall and the placenta. And they said that blood had built up there, and that's where the blood was coming from. Now, I did ask the doctor at my appointment yesterday about that, and she said that it can start bleeding again if there's still blood there. She says it is something that can heal. So in my favor, I guess I don't have cramping. Cervix is still closed, babies still look good, heartbeats still look good, but I'm still very much going to take it easy in everything that I do right now, because my every thought right now is constantly these babies. Everything I do, I just want to keep them in here as long as I possibly can. I'm hoping that everything will get better and I can kind of go back to normal. But right now they're the most important thing. So I'm on the sofa and I'm taking it easy. I'm not going to show you a belly shot because I'm trying not to get up and get down and get up and get down. I don't want to use those stomach muscles. And so tomorrow I will be 12 weeks, so I'll officially have made it to my second trimester, which is really good. I hope that the 24/7 morning sickness eventually starts to go away, but I don't know how long that will last with twins. I'm going to go ahead and load this video today for you guys to see instead of doing it tomorrow, because I don't know what's going to happen from hour to hour and day to day. I could wake up tomorrow and feel really crappy and then not get the opportunity to upload it. So I know it's a really long video and I'm sorry. It was just hard with it being emotional. I thought that I would be completely calm with me doing it a week later, but it was still really hard. So, I just wanted to tell you guys everything that was going on with me and the babies, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. So thanks so much for listening, and I hope the next time I make a video that I'm back to my normal self, and everything will be a lot better. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.